You're late.
I know, and I'm very sorry, Miss Cooper.
If there's one thing in this world worse than being late, it's being sorry for it.
I had to take Boy back and put him into something cooler. Poor boy. Otherwise you would have cooked, wouldn't you?
Now, cast a clout, Nanny. You know what they say. And surely the child has a proper name of his own, other than just Boy.
Well, of course he has, but he's known to all of us as Boy, aren't you, Boy? And it's much too warm to be sitting around in 3 or 4 layers of wool, isn't it, hey? So, that's why I'm a little late, and I'm sorry.
Of course, in my day, one of the nursery maids would have done that for us. And of course, when we were abroad, there would have been a piccaninny to fan the child with a long bamboo fan, most effective.
Really? Ah, there's a good boy. I wish we were at the seaside with the girls. It's so sultry here.
Yeah, cast a clout, Nanny. Isn't that what they say? Looks to me as if he's cutting another tooth.
Yes. Nice present for his first birthday, isn't it? My, doesn't time go fast?
Oil of cloves, the thing. You rub it on their guns at bedtime. That's what we always used to do.
Yes, that poor old cheek is turning red, isn't it?
It was your Mrs. Sackville, I see.
I think we'll try your recommendation tonight, a little oil of cloves.
When the cat's away. Your Mrs. Sackville.
Oh, really? Where?
Where? Up a gum tree, Nanny.
You mean in the car? Yes, I think you're probably right.
You think I'm probably right. You get pimples on your tongue, my dear. Still, I suppose, a little admiration never harmed anyone. But in my day...
Mrs. Sackville's known Mr. Ashcombe for ages. He's an old friend of the family. She's working for him, redecorating his house. He's hardly what you'd call an admirer.
It's all wrong, this business of ladies going out to work.
Well, what about us? I'm a working girl.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Nanny. You're a nanny. Mrs. Sackville should be home with her family where she belongs.
I'm really most terribly sorry.
Gossiping will come from again, I suppose.
Of course not. I wasn't even in Bath this afternoon, so please don't be cross with me. Now then. Good heavens, Nanny, is it boy time already?
Oh, no. If you remember, we arranged to discuss the children's winter clothes. I brought the new Daniel Neal catalogue down.
Oh, Nanny, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid it's been one of those frightful days. I suppose I might possibly catch up with myself around bedtime.
Nanny?
Good afternoon.
Oh, yes, Nanny, this is Captain Charlesworth.
Mr. Charlesworth.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Charlesworth.
After all, you wouldn't go on calling Nanny here Nanny if you became a concert pianist, now, would you?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Charlesworth. I rather think one goes on calling one's nanny Nanny until, well, until they're gone.
Old nannies never die.
Now, won't keep you a moment, Nanny. Mr. Charlesworth is going to paint me a trompe-l'oeil either side of my fireplace. Voila.
Perhaps Nanny doesn't know what a trompe-l'oeil is, Mrs. Sackville.
Of course she does.
It's an illusion. Deceit to the eye. What you think you see turns out to be something entirely different.
It's quite a fashionable practice at the moment.
Now then. This is where I want you to paint it, Mr. Charlesworth, either side of my chimney piece. Et voila. Now then, you remember what I said about arches and roses, Mr. Charlesworth?
Yes.
Now, I want people to get the effect, when they walk into my drawing room, that they are looking at windows which, in turn, look out onto a rose garden.
Like the one I did in Elaine Wrighton's house.
Yes. Now, I want you to include some indications of some of my interests.
Your interests?
Yes, you know, my gardening trug, my easel, my paints, my brushes.
I see.
Just as if I've left them lying there on the sill, as if at any moment I might be back to pick them up and carry on where I left off, yes? And then on the other side, perhaps something to reflect my husband's interests.
What exactly are your husband's interests, Mrs. Sackville?
Nanny, what would you say were most indicative of my husband's interests?
Books. He loves reading.
Yes, books.
Some old maps.
Some old maps.
Old maps are one of Mr. Sackville's abiding interests.
Of course. Yes, you must include some old maps on his side.
Binoculars.
Oh, of course, because he's absolutely mad on horse racing.
Bird watching.
Of course.
Oh, well, you know what it's like when you don't share the same interests as your husband. You're inclined to forget what they even are. I'm quite sure you don't know your wife's.
How should I? I'm not married.
Really? Oh.
So, I'm to paint windows onto a rose garden with your paints and easels and Mr. Sackville's field glasses. Are you quite sure you wouldn't like something a little less original?
Thank you, Nanny.
Mrs. Sackville?
That will be all. Thank you.
Very well. Perhaps we could discuss
We'll
the children's...
get together over the catalogue tomorrow.
Thank you.
Lovely. I'll pop my head round the nursery door, say good night to boy later.
Very well, Mrs. Sackville.
Thank you.
Nanny, I left this behind.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes. I used to have a cot exactly like that.
You remember it?
I remember being born.
It wouldn't surprise me. I was reading something and it said we never forget anything except what we choose to forget. Anyway...
I also had a nanny, exactly like you.
Oh, that was probably the uniform. It's surprising how many...
nothing to do with the uniform. Something to do with the face.
Just don't seem right, that's all. Not with Mrs. Sackville being a married woman, like, and Mr. Sackville being away on business. Just don't seem right.
Alice, it really isn't our affair, is it?
Most certainly isn't.
And I didn't mean that sort of affair, either. Mrs. Sackville's relationship with Mr. Ashcombe is purely a business one.
Not according to Amelia, it isn't.
And it's nothing to do with Amelia, either.
I wonder if Mr. Sackville knows.
Look, Alice, it's quite a different situation for Mrs. Sackville. She's a different sort of woman. She's a professional woman. She's a woman with a job and a life outside her home as well as within it. And if every time she has to do business with a man it's going to lead to this sort of chitter-chatter, well...
Well, according to Amelia,
Look, it isn't any of our business, Alice.
It just don't seem right, that's all. Do you want some cocoa?
Oh, heavens no. It's much too hot for cocoa this evening.
Oh, I can't sleep without my cocoa. Just putting the milk in the saucepan makes me feel sleepy.
There now, darling. It's all right. It's all right. All right.
It's all right. I know there's nothing to cry about. I just can't help it.
But then, When I was first a humble nursery maid, we didn't even have perambulators. Oh, let me take your coat.
Thank you.
There. Of course, with the very first ones, we didn't even, the baby couldn't even lie down. They were like little miniature bath chairs, and you pushed from the back. And it wasn't until much later, I think it was about the 80s, yes, when the Army and Navy first brought out the vis-a-vis. You know, where baby and we actually faced each other.
Yes, yes.
Well, do sit over there, will you, Nanny? While I just see to that.
Oh, you really shouldn't have gone to so much trouble.
Oh, there's hardly any point in asking somebody to tea and then not giving them any. And of course, tea was such a good meal in my days, not like the rubbish you get nowadays, with just a cucumber sandwich and a fuller's cake. Tea was tea. We had a choice of sandwiches and gentlemen's relishing little hot toast fingers, and homemade scones and rock buns, and then a nice rich fruit cake. Oh, it was a good meal then. Not like the snacks you get nowadays. Ah, there's my kettle. That was Lady Margaret at 3. Pretty little child. But she always had a chest. It ran in the family.
Oh, yes.
In my day, we used to wrap them in red flannel at night and put hot compresses on them. They never thought she'd live. They gave her up. I didn't. And neither did she. She married into the lifeguards and she's got 3 of her own now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Oh, James Finnegan. James and his little sister Mary. An Irish family that I was with for nearly 10 years. Mad as hatters. Lord Finningham was master of the Blazers, and he used to ride his big grey hunter without saddle or bridle for a bet over those great stone walls with only a cabbage stalk as a whip, you know.
Oh, no.
Mad as hatters. That was a house in Westport.
Oh, isn't it lovely?
Ah, that was Nanny's favourite.
Oh, yes, he is rather beautiful, isn't he?
Nanny's favourite. Rowley. The nicest boy you could wish to meet, with the nicest possible ways. Head boy at Eton. DSO. Military Cross and Bar.
Did he survive?
Oh, yes, he survived. His father was killed, though.
Oh, is this his? Mrs. Rowley's?
He sent it to me after the investiture. He didn't get on with his mother, you see, so he sent it to me. I don't know where he is now.
Really? I would have thought he'd have kept in touch.
It wasn't him, Nanny. It was me. I don't know what he would have done to his mother if he could have seen me here. I was promised a cottage on the estate, you see, after I'd retired. Well, I was with the family for over 20 years. 20 years. But when the time came, no. It would never do for him to see me here. Never believe what they tell you, Nanny. And never stay with them too long.
Are we playing statues or grandmother's footsteps, Nanny?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
You're not disturbing me. Not in the least.
Don't mind if I sit here then and wait for Mrs. Sackville.
I don't mind if you sit there or stand on your head.
She asked me to bring Boy down at 3:45. Alice has had to take him up and change him again. He spilled orange juice all down his new suit. It's coming along terribly well.
Mm-hmm. Think it's pretty?
I think it's very clever.
Yes, it's meant to be very clever.
Good. And it's very pretty. Are you sure I'm not distracting you? I used to take art at evening classes. I could never bear it if somebody stood behind me.
Well, I can. Do you still paint?
When I have the time. It's useful for the children. Artemis is very talented.
So am I.
So I see.
Why did you ring for some tea?
Oh, I think I should wait for Mrs. Sackville.
No, she's out at her boyfriend's house. Well, I could do with some tea.
Of course. Would you like a good old-fashioned tea? You know, scones, rock buns, that sort of thing.
Why, do you think I need feeding up?
No, I just thought you might like a real old-fashioned tea.
Yes, fine. Yes, you're right. It is pretty. Pretty clever.
You rang Mr. Charlesworth?
No, Amelia, I did. Mr. Charlesworth would like some tea.
Very good.
Yes, sandwiches, scones, toast and cake, please.
Have you told Cook?
No, Amelia, I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you, Cook likes to know in advance of tea time if you want tea, Nanny, rather than just tea.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Look, Amelia, just go and do your best. I'm sure that Cook wouldn't like it if Mr. Charlesworth told Mrs. Sackville that he couldn't get on with his painting because he was faint with hunger.
Very well, Nanny. But she's not going to like it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I eat whatever's put in front of me.
Oh, is that how you were trained?
Certainly, why not?
Oh, I just don't think children should be forced into eating whatever is put in front of them.
Didn't do me any harm.
Hello, Mr. Charlesworth. Nanny.
Mrs. Sackville.
It's all right, I've already rung for tea.
Really? That's all right then, because I'm ringing for a drink. Where's Boy?
Alice had to take him upstairs and change him again. He'd spilt orange juice all down his new suit.
Really? You don't appear to have progressed very much.
It took Michelangelo 4 years to paint the Sistine Chapel.
You're surely not comparing yourself to Michelangelo.
You wouldn't get the man who cleaned Michelangelo's paintbrushes for the money you're paying.
I think perhaps I'd better go and see how Alice is managing with Boy.
One thing, Nanny. If you're thinking of bringing Boy down here in future, I don't think it's a terribly good idea while Mr. Charlesworth is trying to paint.
I assure you, Mrs.
I don't think
Sackville,
the smell of paint will be very good for him.
Very well, Mrs. Sackville.
You rang, madam?
Who is it? Mr. Charlesworth.
So, this is where we live. Yes, it's odd, isn't it, to think that if there was a fire, their children wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh, they would in this case. I've worked out a perfectly plausible escape route across the roofs.
Good for you. Yes, you're quite efficient, aren't you?
Someone has to think of these things.
Well, you'd think parents would think of these things. We were always stuck up somewhere under the roof. I wonder if that's the origin of the term, stuck up. I like the way you smile. When's your day off?
I have a half day, Thursday. Why?
I'd like to take you to the pictures.
Oh,
And then I'd like to take you to dinner.
why?
Because I want to show you how I eat. Well,
Well, you realise I'll have to ask permission.
Don't be ridiculous.
I have to.
All right, but don't say who asked you, otherwise we'll both be in trouble. I'm like you. I'm strictly a hired gun.
I was asking you out of courtesy, Mrs. Sackville.
Supposing I'd said no.
Well, if I thought you'd have said no, I wouldn't have asked you.
No, you go out and have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Aren't you going to tell us who the lucky man is?
Oh, it was just someone I met.
Well, I'd hardly be expecting you to go out with someone you hadn't met.
No. Anyway, thank you very much, Mrs. Sackville. Mr. Ashcombe.
Lovely. Just make sure you're home by 10, please. Aren't I naughty?
You really frightened me.
I thought the only way you could frighten nannies was by putting mice in their beds.
I hope I'm not late.
No, you're not late. Not at all late.
The nursery clock sometimes goes a bit dotty. Is there something the matter?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I suppose I was expecting you to be in uniform.
I wasn't expecting you to be holding your paintbrush.
Touché. And the other ridiculous thing is I don't know your name.
Barbara.
I mean, I can hardly go on calling you Nanny all evening, can I?
No, hardly. What are they showing?
William Powell and Kay Francis in One-Way Passage. All right.
Lovely. I love William Powell.
Good. Oh, yes, take it. And bring me another bottle of this.
Thank you.
Please, thank you. Sorry, Nanny. Not to mind our P's and Q's.
I think perhaps it would be better if I went home.
Don't be such a fool.
Well, you don't exactly seem to be enjoying yourself. You haven't touched your food and you're drinking far too much.
Sorry, Nanny. Do you want me to go and stand in the corner?
I think I better go home.
Stay where you are. Thank you. Well, come on. Don't you want to know how I lost half my face?
No. As a matter of fact, I'd forgotten.
What are you talking about? Forgotten to ask?
Forgotten that you had.
How could you have forgotten? Look at me, look!
I've been looking at you all the evening. Of course, it's terrible for you because your scars show. Other people who've been hurt, their scars don't show. They can hide them, but you can't. You have to parade yours and put up with people either asking you about them or, worse still, not asking you about them. I would have asked you, really, if I hadn't forgotten about them.
You're an authority on these matters, of course. On scars and wounds.
No, of course I'm not. My scars are nothing, not compared to yours.
So where do you hurt?
I don't think I do anymore. I was married and divorced. To a lot of people, still, that's worse than physical disfigurement. Mrs. Sackville doesn't know, although I do mean to tell her because I think perhaps she would understand. But a lot of people don't want someone who's been divorced looking after their children.
No.
I think the thing that hurt most was not being able to have children.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm sorry. I should have asked you straight away.
No. So, what happened to your husband?
Nothing happened to him. We happened to drift apart. He happened to fall in love with someone else, and I happened to divorce him. And he now has 2 children.
That's why you became a nanny?
Oh, no. I became a nanny because I found I wanted to work with children, to look after children. I didn't become a nanny because I couldn't have children.
I see. Well, I wouldn't for a moment have thought that you did. You're not that predictable.
So what was it that happened to you? Was it the war?
Funnily enough, no, it wasn't. Not directly. Indirectly, I suppose you would say, it played a part. No, the day I got back from France, I borrowed a motorbike and drove home as a surprise. Which it was, because I surprised my mother in bed with my father's best friend. So I got very drunk at a pub and tried to drive back to London and crashed into a van. A butcher's van, as a matter of fact. Went headlong through the windscreen. Ironic, really, because I joined up in 14 and went through the whole blasted shooting match without getting a scratch. So, there you are. There we are. What do you make of all that?
I think you're one of the most interesting people I've met.
I think the same about you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Isn't it good, madam? It's just like having them French windows.
Really?
It's so real.
Yes, I know, Amelia.
I keep feeling I want to tidy all them things off the ledge.
Yes.
It's so real.
That's the general idea, Amelia.
Mind you, if you'd have really wanted French windows there, I can't see why you didn't put them there myself.
Because I didn't want French windows there, Amelia. I want to trick people for a bit of fun.
Everything's fun, Amelia. Particularly tricks.
You're working at quite a pace.
Mm-hmm.
When exactly will you be through?
When I've exactly finished. It'll never take the place of the paintbrush.
Oh, it's you.
I can't stay away. Must be something to do with the uniform.
You know you really
No,
should.
it's all right. She's out. I just came up to tell you I'll be finished tomorrow.
Already?
But I can't stay here indefinitely. Not unless I get another commission.
No, of course you can't.
Or a proposal. Perhaps this beautiful young lady will ask to marry me.
Artemis? Oh, she's going to marry an Austrian prince.
Oh, well, I suppose I could always ask you. Well, if you won't marry me, at least come and spend the day with me on Sunday. We'll go for a drive in the country.
it was extraordinary. It was like... Looking at your drawing was like looking into yourself. It's really not like a photograph.
I told you, the camera won't ever replace the brush.
I'm afraid I haven't expressed myself very well.
Of course you have. Anyway, you paint, so you know how difficult it is to express certain things in words. Which is why we paint. It's not meant to be a portrait anyway. I told you I don't paint portraits, not in the conventional sense. I paint what I see in somebody, not what they want me to see in them.
You're very talented.
And you're very pretty.
Pretty?
Pretty and clever. And you want to know what else I think?
Only if it's flattering.
I think I've fallen in love with you.
Are you sure it's not just the uniform? It's really me. And from what you've told me...
Oh, for God's sake, Barbara.
It makes sense, you know. Your well-loved Nanny, she was... Well, she was really your mother. And it would be a perfectly understandable
Where'd you
case.
get all this rubbish from?
Freud.
Freud? Look, I want to know what you think, not what some lunatic Swiss neurologist thinks.
Oh, dear. I was rather afraid you might.
Come on.
And by the way, Freud was Austrian. It's mad.
There is pleasure sure in being mad, which none but madmen know.
We've known each other precisely 3 weeks.
I don't subscribe to the relativity of time, only to its irrelevance.
Yes, I know. But,
You and your butts. It's like going out with a nanny goat.
well, you are really, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am. Well,
I can't. At least, not yet.
nobody's asking you to marry me yet.
It's just that all this... You and me... It's thrown everything out of step.
Love's inclined to do that.
You must try to understand, please. There's my job, you see.
What sort of job is that?
What sort of job is it? It's a wonderful job, and I love it.
For the moment. Where do you think you're going to end your days, Barbara? Where do you think Nanny's going winter?
I have to think of the children.
They're not your children. You have to think of yourself.
They're my responsibility.
They're your job. You can buy nannies from an agency. You can't buy what you feel. And if you're worried about money, you needn't be.
I'm not worried
I'm
about
owed
money.
quite a bit here and there for services rendered.
You must give me a little time, Robert.
Of course I'll give you a little time, Barbara. You've got precisely until I get you back to Bath.
Thank you. Thank you for perhaps the best day in my life.
For that, I give you until tomorrow evening.
They've arrived then.
That's it. I counted them. They're all here. I'll put them into soak.
Good, Alice.
Morning, Nanny.
Oh,
Alice.
Morning, Mrs. Saville.
Nanny, I wonder if I might have a word.
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, Alice. It is quite important.
Oh, no, Mrs. Sackville, that's all right. I was just going to put the nappies into soak anyway.
So, Nanny, I need someone to talk to. And who better than Nanny?
Your husband?
No, I couldn't possibly talk to my husband. Not about this. Anyway, he's not back yet. No, you're the only one I can talk to, Nanny. Nanny, I've been most awfully stupid. I'm afraid I've made a tiny bit of a fool of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you must have heard rumours. I do know what staff are like.
Well, actually, I make it a rule up here there's to be no gossip.
Even so.
Even so, one does hear rumours.
Yes.
Well, besides the fact that it's nothing to do with me, I just don't happen to believe them.
How sweet. Unhappily, they are true.
I see.
Nanny, I've been such a fool.
Oh, thank you, Nanny. Oh dear, it's all so stupid. Here I am priding myself on what a cool head I have and what a good businesswoman I am, and then I go and fall for the oldest trick in the book. My father always told me, you see, when I was a young girl, never, ever put anything down on paper.
There are some letters.
Yes, silly things. Silly little notes, little billet-doux. Silly things. He wants £200.
£200?
Yes, £200, or he'll show them to my husband.
Then I should let him. Blackmail. I think it's despicable.
Good, me too.
I think you should stand up to him.
Oh, no, I can't, Nanny dear. Contrary to what you may suppose, Mr. Sackville is the most hideously jealous man. He'd kill me, or even both of us. You have no idea what he's like when roused.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't got that amount of money.
Hmm? Oh, Nanny, darling, don't be such a silly. I didn't come up here to ask you for the money. I have the money. No, I've got the money. I suppose the only faintly comforting thing about the whole wretched affair is that I'm not the only one he's done it to, apparently. Well, I know that at least 4 other girls have succumbed to his wretched charms. One can make quite a nice little living this way, I suppose.
I can imagine. I think it's appalling.
Well, I agree, Nanny dear, but what about my behaviour?
Well, I think you've behaved like a spoilt child. And a very stupid one, too.
Yes, I suppose I asked for that.
I'm afraid you did. Perhaps Mr. Sackville is right. Perhaps it would be better if you did give up your job.
I certainly didn't ask for that.
Well, you asked me what I thought about your behavior.
I'm sorry, Nanny. I still haven't asked you what I came up here to ask you. You see, I have to get those letters back, as well as paying the blackmailer off. And quite honestly, Nanny, I just don't think I can honestly face seeing him again.
I understand, or at least I think I do.
Well, of course you do. Which is why I thought that you might do it for me. Well, you know, just a disinterested third party. It would be so much better that way, don't you think? Because I might weaken, or... Well, I'm afraid I really am most awfully weak, Nanny, as you probably have gathered. Please.
Well, what exactly do you want me to do?
Oh, dear Nanny, what would I do without you? He's coming here this evening. All you have to do is give him his wretched money and ask him for those letters back. It would be so much better that way, don't you think? Anyway, he's afraid of you.
Who? Mr. Ashcombe?
Mr. Ashcombe? Oh, don't be silly, Nanny, dear. Mr. Charlesworth. Actually, no, on second thoughts, I suppose I really ought to do it myself.
Mr. Charlesworth to see you, madam. Mr. Charlesworth.
Thank you, Amelia.
Aren't you going to offer me a drink?
Aren't you going to kiss me?
Oh. Ships that pass in the night, Dorinda.
I've just signaled full speed astern.
Well, without wishing to labor the metaphor, my dear, I'm sorry to tell you your ship is sunk. Well, since you're not offering, I'll help myself.
Yes, after all. You always do. Help yourself.
If you don't mind awfully, Dorinda, do you think we could get this sordid business out of the way as soon as possible?
Oh, yes, of course. Silly me. I'd forgotten you were here for a purpose.
Purpose is, however, first things first.
And the first thing is your money.
Well, you didn't think you were getting me for free.
Oh, there was a moment. I think you'll find it's all in there.
And I think you'll find everything you want is in there. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have a dinner engagement.
I don't think you do.
What?
I said I don't think you do. And if you're thinking about who I'm thinking about, I would say that dinner is not only off for tonight, but for every other night as well. Do help yourself to another.
What have you been up to? What have you told her?
Told her? Told whom?
Barbara.
Barbara. Oh, you mean Nanny? Never think of her as Barbara. Sweet girl, isn't she? And so terribly bright. Best nanny I've ever had and am ever likely to have. Nannies like that don't grow on trees, you know, Robert.
My God, you haven't told her about us.
Now, why should I do a thing like that? No, alas, darling, she heard it on the grapevine. Nursery gossip, you know. She's not here. And even if she were, she wouldn't see you. Or at least that's what she more or less said to me, you know, in as many words. I really am most terribly sorry.
Oh,
Don't worry, darling. I still love you.
love? Well, the closest you ever come to love, Mrs. Sackville, is when you look in that mirror.
Anyway, thank you for all these boring old bills and receipts. Awfully dull, but Freddie insists. Although, I must say, I didn't realise we'd have to pay for all the materials as well as your fee.
You just thought you only paid for me.
Still, that's the age we live in.
I'd say you got off cheaply. Goodbye. I'm owed quite a bit here and there for services rendered.
I know that at least 4 other girls have succumbed to his wretched charms. But why, Nanny? I mean, why?
I have to.
You've been so happy here, I can't believe what you're saying. You've been so happy here. The children love you.
And I love them, too. Very much.
Then why?
I don't expect you to understand.
Look, Nanny, I'm not a complete fool.
I just feel I can't stay here any longer.
It wasn't because of all this, was it? Oh, dear. I knew it was wrong of me to involve you. My nanny always used to say, if you make your bed, you jolly well have to lie on it.
On the contrary, I'm very grateful to you. I could have made the most frightful mistake.
Nanny, what am I going to do without you?
Make Alice Nanny.
Oh, what a likely idea.
She's a very capable girl, and the children know her and love her. And cut down on your work and stay at home more.
Yes, I see, Nanny. Thank you for the advice.
It isn't just advice.
I thought you didn't believe in blackmail.
For those children, I think there isn't anything I wouldn't do.